Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Shout It Out Loudcast with Tom and Zeus. These guys know Kiss inside and out. They freak me out all the time. You're going to enjoy it. The episode is epic.
The year is 1981. The album is Escape, and the band is Journey. Welcome to episode 54 of the Album Review Crew, where we break down and analyze one of the most legendary albums of the era and one of the most influential albums of the 80s. We'll be joined by the great PJ Farley of Quarantine, Fozzy, and Trixter very soon. But until then, Zeus, what's up?
Well, buddy, we're going to do what we normally do. We go back to last month's episode, and that was Rainbow's Difficult to Cure. That was my pick. And we're going to go through the feedback on that. But the first thing we usually do is look at the poll for like favorite song.
Yep. And of course, it was Rainbow Difficult to Cure, Zeus's pick, another album from 1981. And the options for favorite song on this poll were I Surrender, No Release, Can't Happen Here, and Spotlight Kid. This was shocking because Can't Happen Here is the quote-unquote hit from this album. I Surrender took the poll with 50%, okay? 50% for I Surrender, 35% for Can't Happen Here, 9% No Release, 6% Spotlight Kid. And yes, another thanks to the great Martin Popoff for that one. That was great. Our buddy Daryl Alber of Pantheon Podcasts, all-time hard rock vocals by Joe Lynn Turner on I Surrender. And our buddy Steve, in a battle of the big two singles here, I Surrender just wins it for me. Yeah, that's a good song. It's very sing-songy. Remember the way I described that, Zeus? I surrender. And here we go. And Ken in Satan's Service created a meme of me with a quote saying, sing-songy.
Songy.
Thank you, Ken in Satan's Service. Martin Popoff, our buddy, chimes in. Thanks, guys. A great, thorough breakdown of this album. You guys are pros. Baden McLeod, great episode. Love the album and all of the JLT era. Not sure what Mr. Popoff means by now they have an American in the band. Maybe I may be from Canada, but isn't New Hampshire still in the USA? I don't get it. I think he was referring to Joe Lynn Turner being in Rainbow as an American. I'm from New Hampshire. I'm not in Rainbow.
I think that's what Joe answered the question the other day. What's he going to do about the border? Well, they have an American now in the band, but he's from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. That's Twitter, Zeus. Let's move it along. What do you got on the Book of Face of a Rainbow?
All right. Brad Rustoven, Bad Matchup Brad, and go check out Brad's episode. He just did, I think he did 3 in a row. One with you, one with Murph, and one with me.
Yeah.
On his podcast.
Yes, it was great. I did Bob Seger. You did the Eagles. Murph did Debbie Gibson. I don't know.
Dude, he's been on a constant tear, that kid.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit.
He's burning through his first communion money. He saved his whole life.
Brad Rustoven, love me some JLT era Rainbow. I always got this album kind of confused with the album from Three Dog Nights Hard Labor album. I'm just going to say this out loud. Why do you have that? Why do you know that?
How hard did the guy at the record store laugh when you bought Three Dog Night?
Anyways, Thomas Warhol adds, great pick, especially having the professor, doctor, ambassador, and the man of international intrigue, Martin Popoff, on this episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Over on Pastors, Tom. Michael Murphy says, this album sounds like a typical generic corporate rock of the late 70s, early 80s era in the vein of Styx, Foreigner, Journey, which is not a good thing. Remember when I was talking to you about Journey, Styx later on in this episode? But that's okay.
Yes.
No Release is decent, but out of the 9 songs, 2 are instrumental, 2 are Magic and Freedom Fighter, which are both dreadful. Not a strong effort from Blackmore and co. Remember, when we picked the album, I actually said that I know it's top heavy, but sometimes I want to discuss certain songs, and the only way to do it is pick the album.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I absolutely adore Can't Happen Here, so I had to get that in.
Maybe that'll be our next spin-off podcast, Song Review Crew.
Yeah, exactly. No, the guys over at Pot of Thunder, they do a good job of it.
We don't
need to jump in somebody else's lane.
That's a great.
We can do it better. You know,
that's a great point. Those guys are awesome. Yes, agreed. Yeah.
Sometimes you people, I'm not going to name names.
You people, I love that.
Tom just read something like what? Like we don't get the sense of humor. I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't get this stuff. So I'm not going to embarrass you. Don't
say his name. Read the comment. You don't have to read that name. I want to know what you're talking about.
No, Tom. Stay in that position. Hey guys, get in here. Check this out. What?
I have no idea what just happened.
Tell me about it. And this is a good guy that always has great feedback. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe he was under the influence. It happens.
And fucking Uncle Joe was answering Loudcaster feedback at the debate the other day, and he got a little confused. Because, I mean, this is the stuff sometimes it's like too in the weeds. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Chris D says, has there ever been a guitarist ever be as lucky as Blackmore with singers? Gillan, Coverdale, Hughes, Dio, Bonnet, JLT. The dude won the singer lottery. He was just in the neighborhood with his fucking hot wife singing like woodland music again. I just can't do it. It's fucking 14th century, the soundtrack to Hawk the Slayer from HBO in 1981.
Yeah, dude, that makes like The Hobbit look cool, what he's doing.
He's got those fucking like elf-like boots on and shit. And dude, it's just fucking terrible. All right. John Whiteman says, interesting take that Richie Blackmore may have inadvertently spawned the TSO, a.k.a. the neck cracker for white trash with his instrumental. I've been blaming the great cat, hot chick metal guitarist that did classical covers in the 80s. So now I can start listening to her again. That's what I thought. I think it sounds like when he did the whole fucking Beethoven's ninth there, I mean, I just feel like that's fucking TSO shit. Anyways, Donna Socrates says, great show, boys. Rainbow's one of my favorites, although this isn't my favorite Rainbow album. It is brilliant. JLT has the chops to deliver a killer vocal melody and one of my favorite vocalists. Can't Happen Here and I Surrender Spotlight Kid album is quality. Richie Blackmore is untouchable. The way Joe and Richie duel is just fucking amazing. Now, for you to do Bent Out of Shape, which is on my mind, the best Rainbow album ever released.
Oh, wow.
We may get to that, but if we do, we got to hit the next Rainbow would be a fucking Dio album. I know where we're going.
Yeah.
And now over to YouTube. Alex DeHuna 9819. Good podcast.
Thanks.
And then Jules Stundiff 8102 says Coast to Coast Scorpions. Surely you like that. As a matter of fact, I do.
What album is it?
Coast to Coast, the song by Scorpions.
Never heard of it in my life. Terrible.
It's a great guitar riff. It's an instrumental.
It's an instrumental? I love it then.
Yeah. That's what I think, because I think the whole discussion about how fucking polarizing instrumentals were, and he's saying Coast to Coast. I'm sure you like that, right? I do, actually. I do like that.
Okay. I'm a fan of instrumentals if they're not like the fucking.
If you put on Coast to Coast, you'll be like, when are the lyrics coming? This would make a great song, and they don't.
Good. Scorpion should do everything instrumental. Throw Klaus in a closet.
All right. Over to you, buddy.
All right, let's get through a couple things on Instagram. Our good buddy Radio Chaos offering condolences to you, Zeus. That was very kind of him.
Thank you.
Philippe Melander. Love this album. And the German pronunciation was horrendous.
Sorry there,
I'm
fucking
sorry.
Goebbels.
International. Did you just call him Goebbels? Oh, Jesus Christ.
You know what that reminds me of?
Sorry, Philippa. I'm not schooled in the Germanic language of whatever the fuck Richie Blackmore was trying to do with that album.
You know what it reminds me of? Well, he's an anti-Semite. Can you blame him? It's like, well, after Goebbels gets you your soup wrong. What's he complaining? Right. The soup is cold.
Oh, God. That's what we got for Instagram.
All right, Tom, let's take a quick little break. When we come back, we're coming back with PJ Farley.
All right, we're excited to have our third man in this month for Journey Escape, the great PJ Farley of Trixter and Kuarantine. PJ, welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you?
It's a pleasure. Good to see you, fellas.
Did he get kicked out of Fozzy?
What's that?
Oh, yeah, he's in Fozzy, too.
Did he get kicked out of Fozzy?
I keep, the Trixter and Kuarantine are active right now. I don't know if Fozzy's not really doing anything, are they? If they are.
Got a couple weeks done. A couple weeks left before Fozzy fires back up.
Okay. Fozzy's like kicking ass these days. All your fucking singles are making like mainstream rock charts and all that shit, right?
Hey, Jericho's not on the show. We don't need to kiss ass to Fozzy.
But you're right. It's quite impressive between Fozzy, Fozzy's top 10 singles, and Kuarantine's latest single, "Good Girl Gone Bad," going
awesome
11.
So good.
It's so fucking funny.
So, yeah.
Kind of a coincidence since Chris has teamed up with you, right? All this newfound success in the rock area.
Is it a coincidence?
No,
I'm putting it out there, buddy. I'm putting it out there. So you tell us.
If Jericho listens to this episode, he's not going to be happy.
No, he'll send us a video, a 5-minute video with the close up of his face.
You fucking
asshole.
Yeah,
Boston
you fucking assholes.
He's going to send a video just like this. He's going to grab this and go, "You fucking asshole."
Yeah.
Go fuck your ass.
He's going to listen to this. This Journey.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's a Journey guy. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Journey Escape is the Patreon. We have a Patreon account. We give them the opportunity every 3 times to their pick. It was a real close match. There was 4 fucking great albums. We're not going to say which ones. Journey was losing by 1 vote 1 day before the voting was going to end, and somehow somebody rigged it, and Journey Escape won.
I'm excited because I got a lot to say about this record.
Good. Me too. I do too. I can't wait.
Great. Another Tom pick for free, huh?
That's right, baby. Patreon doing my work.
Yeah. It sucks. Anyway, so Journey Escape, it's close enough being your album once again, Tom. What we usually do is just talk a little bit about the album, how we got into it before we get into the album and then the tracks. So you're up first, buddy.
Okay. So I say this pretty much the same thing whenever we talk about albums in the 80s. Grew up heavily into music, MTV, record stores, all that stuff. And I had a sister that was 4 years older than me. So 1981, Journey Escape comes out. I'm only 8 years old, but MTV had come out in 81. I was heavily into Kiss and all that stuff. My sister, of course, into everything. This cassette, Escape, was just massive in my household. And it's funny because it wasn't really Don't Stop Believin', that the song that we played a lot. It was Who's Crying Now, Open Arms, Stone in Love, some of the deeper cuts. And it's just one of those albums that you just kind of like absorb as a music fan over the years. And it's like, you know, every word to every song and every note to every song. It just becomes part of you. And as you get older and as you start listening to radio and, you know, going to school dances and hearing Open Arms or different events and Don't Stop Believin', like you just, no pun intended, like you can't escape this album. You just can't. And there's a good reason for that because it's a friggin' phenomenal album. And I love Journey. I'm not just a hits guy. Frontiers is a fantastic album. The stuff before Escape is great with Steve Perry. This is just an album that's been kind of a part of my life since it came out in 81. I'm actually seeing Journey for the first time this summer. I know that obviously Steve Perry's not in the band, but you still got Neal Schon. You still got some of the original guys. They're touring with Def Leppard and Heart. So I'm excited for that. So the timing of this is actually pretty cool. So, yeah, I'm excited to talk about this one, PJ. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I was around the same age. I mean, 81. I was I was like 9 or 10. And I remember my father had this in his car on loop. It was like one of the only 3 cassettes. It was like this, Turnstiles, and like Songs in the Key of Life. And
Nice.
but this record, when this came out, same deal. Like Don't Stop Believin', great song. You know, that wasn't the song though. It was the same ones that you mentioned. I'm like, yeah, it was just, we celebrated the whole record.
Yep.
And this record subconsciously was my gateway drug to pop rock music. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to get to that because I'm going to touch on that a lot throughout this record as these tracks go on, because you're going to see what I just said and how meaningful that is, because this record is a blueprint for, I'm going to say, what followed. An entire movement of music followed. It was packaged differently, but I'll be damned if this record did not set the tone and give the tools for so many great records and artists that came out that, I mean, and sorely overlooked and undermentioned when it comes to mentioning who your influence is, you know, just completely glazed over, I feel. But we're going to get into that, and I'm going to point out some shit here.
It's a great point, PJ. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, this record just, and again, I'm going to say subconsciously, because I mean, I knew I loved it, but it wasn't Iron Maiden. It wasn't Black Sabbath, which I was listening to. It wasn't Kiss. I'm like, but what is this stuff? It's got its hooks into me. And it connected on a profound level. Like I said, Maiden, Priest, Sabbath, Kiss, I was all in. But this stuff, I was like, I had that other side, whereas I was listening to Stevie Wonder, Billy Joel, and Journey. I'm like, ooh, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Zeus.
So you can't escape. Now, I swear I didn't try to say that on purpose. You can't escape what Journey was growing up in the 80s. We're all about the same age. I'm 51 as of yesterday. Tom is 50. Yes. PJ, what are you?
Happy birthday. 52 as of June 8th.
See, there you go. You're not a Cancer then, right? 8th, you said?
Gemini, yeah.
Gemini, gotcha. So we all grew up around this. There was the hard rock that we got into. There's Ozzy coming out with Blizzard of Oz right around this time. We were all Kiss fans, obviously, as well. But this was like a new style of like that arena rock type of music that was kind of big, and you couldn't mistake it. It was on the radio everywhere. And then MTV had their videos. I mean, all their videos were on loop at that time. So Journey became big to me because, I mean, I remember when they were doing from the previous album, when they had the, what's his name? Gregg Rolie. Yeah, when he was in the videos and stuff. So just before this came up, I remember Journey. So I didn't have the album. I didn't think I needed it because it was always on the radio. It was, you could always hear it. So I just got this for the first time.
No way.
Kidding me?
I've never owned it.
What?
I've had Journey's greatest hits since college. Okay.
Wow.
I've had
thin.
And now I have a different version of their greatest hits, which I think is it's
Essential.
Yeah, I think Essential versus Journey's greatest hits. Journey's greatest hits didn't have Stone in Love, I don't think.
No, that's a crime. We'll talk about that later. That's that's on volume 2 of their greatest hits.
Yeah, regardless, I ended up getting this for the first time, so this is kind of new. So all the other tracks on it, first time hearing them.
Wow.
More for us to talk about.
Yep.
That's actually, that's actually kind of cool. I think that kind of makes it a little bit more enjoyable for kind of a first timer.
Yeah, all right, Tom, the cover. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I remember, again, younger, having the cassette, the first thing that kind of caught my eye was the way that Journey is spelt and the way that Escape is spelt. So, you know, at this time, it's 1981, computers and like that kind of futuristic shit is kind of just kind of coming to the forefront. You know, video games are kind of in their infancy and all that stuff. So the way Escape is written, like the number 3 and the number 4, and Journey is kind of written on its side. But then the image itself of like this little beetle scarab thing kind of popping out of this orb with the bright colors. I mean, Escape, you know, it's awesome. It's colorful. It's eye catching. It's unique. I don't really know if it means anything, but I know that it's super, super eye-catching, especially in the era of vinyl and LPs, which I'm holding up right now. I have the vinyl. Walmart released one of their special editions clear vinyl not too long ago. It sounds absolutely spectacular on vinyl. And then the back has kind of like almost like a reminiscent of like a Rainbow album cover, Zeus. Kind of like the contrails of the thing heading towards what, kind of looks like
down to
Saturn.
earth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really, really colorful, almost iconic type of cover for people that like us that follow this music, PJ.
Yeah. To be honest with you, it caught my eye because it was colorful, kind of looked like a Boston album cover. Or, in that kind of round. But I also thought it was like some sort of flaming squid. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I didn't really
like
pay too
those
much
seahorses or whatever.
I'm like, what am I looking at? A flaming mushroom or a squid? Or is this underwater or outer space? I mean, honestly, this was one of those things where I was like, and at my young age, you'd think, oh, the cover, like when Kiss records came out, Maiden record came out, you were like, oh, the cover. I was like, these songs are what's dragging me into this. Cover's great, whatever. It was an afterthought.
Okay, fair. Yeah, Zeus.
But it did start a theme because, Frontiers and, they all have a similar, thing like the Iron Maiden thing. They have a theme and a vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. There is a theme to these. I don't know if it's the same guy, but this gun was done by somebody named Stanley Mouse or something. But there are these fucking 8th grade fucking graphic design person in school in the 80s designed all these covers. They all kind of look, if you pile them up, you could kind of tell if you look at all their album covers that these are Journey covers. Something like spatial, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe somebody stole that idea from me. I don't know if Ace got involved.
I got my lawyer's looking into it now. Zeus, you're my lawyer, right?
I mean, it almost reminds me of because before Journey became poppy, they were like wicked proggy and like weird. So this could have been like a Rush album cover if this came out like
because
the 70s.
That was of Neal Schon's original.
Correct.
It came from that asshole Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
That piece of shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking he's a big anti-Kiss guy. Fuck him.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we don't tag him in this.
Yeah, we have a bad habit of shitting on people and then tagging them
and stuff.
And then someone listens and like, what the fuck you tagged me in this for?
Because we wanted you to hear us shitting on you. That's why.
Regardless. The only way to get them to listen, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Regardless. I mean, it's okay. But when you guys make fun of my Rainbow covers and all the other shit, what is this? This is no different. It's fucking Dungeons and Dragons, silly.
It was fine for the time. It was good. It was about being colorful and grabbing your attention. That's what record album covers did. So I never have a problem with it.
Yeah. So did Asia albums. Okay,
dude, those album covers are fantastic.
Yeah, I know for dorks. I know.
Yeah, but come on, Asia is touring.
How hard did the guy at the fucking poster store laugh at you when he asked you to frame this?
Is that a framed Asia poster?
Yeah.
How hard did that guy laugh?
That's a good line for the show. We always use it. Why do you have that?
Why do you have that?
Is that a Kiss stuffed pet dog animal over there? Why do you have that?
Is that
Oscar? Is that Oscar Goldman?
Is that the $6 million man's boss?
Yeah, that's Oscar Goldman.
Yeah,
take him out of the box.
Play with it.
Yeah,
that's a whole other show. We got to do.
Yeah, movies. Exactly. Yeah. We'll do that when we cover 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Oh, the greatest. That's the greatest. All right, guys. Let me give you a couple little facts on the album. The album was released July 17th, 1981. It's their 7th studio album. I believe it's the first one with Jonathan Cain.
Yep.
And Gregg Rolie is now out of the band. Mike Stone and Kevin Elson produced this album. And it's pretty rare that Journey was a kind of an established band, and Jonathan Cain comes in, and I think he's got writing credit on 9 of the 10 songs.
Yep.
It's very Vinnie Vincent like.
Yep.
That's amazing that he comes into an established band and is like, here you go. I've got 9 songs to help you with. So that's pretty cool. The album went to number 1, as you could expect. It's a diamond record, meaning over 10 million albums sold.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else anybody wants to add before we get into it?
Yeah, it's just like you said, like the previous album captured, in some of the Steve Perry albums. Because I know growing up, I used to think that this was like the first Steve Perry Journey album because it was the first one that kind of blew up. But before this, you had Lights and Any Way You Want It and Love and Touch and Squeeze and stuff like that. But you're right, Jonathan Cain comes in and really, really puts the polish on them with the hooks, the pop, the keys.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just takes him into a different stratosphere. And like you said, Zeus, him with the writing credits. I mean, Jonathan Cain, not that Journey needed to be saved, but it's kind of like that, like you said, the Vinnie Vincent, like, did Vinnie save Kiss? Like, did Jonathan Cain propel Journey? It's kind of hard to say no.
No, he did put in some pop element to him.
Yeah.
They definitely elevated.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right. I think we all know the first track, and here it is.
So Don't Stop Believin'. So the first thing you have to do, or at least the first thing that I had to do, is I had to put aside the fact that it's one of the most overplayed songs in the history of recorded music. One of those songs that you would probably tell yourself, I don't ever need to hear it again. So I put all that aside and I just listened to the song. And there's a reason why it's one of the most overplayed songs ever played. It's because it's a fucking complete and total masterpiece of a song. It is a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant song. From the piano intro to the hooks, obviously Steve Perry and Neal Schon, it's just a masterful composition of a song. And I'll say this now before we get into all the songs. I think the success of Journey, specifically Escape, this is like that rare album where guys love it because it rocks just hard enough. Women love it because it doesn't rock too hard and it's ballady, it's dramatic, it's melodic, it's hooky. But Don't Stop Believin'. And the thing that I find fascinating about this is that you don't hear the chorus until there's about 40 seconds left in the song. That incredible chorus. You don't hear it until the song's over. I just think it's a brilliant song. I mean, are you ever going to seek it out and play I Want to Hear Don't Stop Believin'? No, because you don't need to. You can play it in your head. But for this exercise here, we're reviewing an album. It's a fucking masterpiece of a song.
It's ironic. I mean, the first rule of show business is you don't open with a show closer. Well,
yeah.
If they would have said, watch this.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't know. Yeah. PJ, what do you think about Don't Stop Believin'? What do we got?
I mean, Don't Stop Believin', it's ironic because, yes, it is the most overplayed song because it is a masterpiece. It's a great song. Girls love it, guys love it, and everything. But we all know the fact is that that's not the reason it's the most overplayed song. The reason it's the most overplayed song is because Sopranos. That's a fact. And the fact that that song, that masterpiece, sat there and was an amazing song, a very well-known song for 40 years, and then became legendary. It's just like talk about a charmed life for a song.
Yeah.
And, but well-deserved. You can't knock it. There's literally nothing wrong with the song.
It almost reminds me of like what Goodfellas did for Layla.
Exactly.
Right. Everybody knew Layla,
but next level though.
It just shot it into the public consciousness.
Because, I'll tell you why it's next level is because every bar band in the world doesn't play Layla.
Good point. Yeah.
And Bret Michaels doesn't play Layla.
Right.
But he was playing some of Don't Stop Believin'. Like it was, everybody just wanted to touch it a little bit. Mm-hmm. And because it was an easy, it was an easy win.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
You just couldn't. I mean, now it's kind of like, all right, pass.
Right.
But, at one point, it was just everybody just wanted to do it, wanted to play it.
Yeah. Zeus.
All right. A couple things. You're also forgetting it was an X Factor, which got it bigger even before the Sopranos brought it back.
Okay.
And he actually started charting in the UK because of that. But in addition to that, it was in the opening episode of Glee.
Yes,
and
that was
they
huge.
Sold it made a shit ton of money off of doing Don't Stop Believin' as well. A couple years after The Sopranos. So it just got revived 1 billion times. In addition to that, it's also like the Red Wings were using that as one of their home songs when they would come from behind and win a game, they would play it. They closed out Joe Louis Arena in 2017 with Don't Stop Believin', because it has that stupid fucking line, which I will give you an example, Tom. It says, he's born and raised in South Detroit. Somebody from Michigan explain to me where South Detroit is.
So this is
West Boston. There is no thing as West Boston.
So the interesting thing about the interesting thing about that, and I don't know if it was Jonathan Cain or it was Steve, one of them said they didn't realize until after the fact that there was no South Detroit, but they purposely selected South because they said it sounded better when Steve was singing it, that North, East, and West didn't flow, that South worked better. And then after the fact, people were like, dude, there's no fucking South Detroit. And he's like, who cares?
It's a song.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything goes.
I have relatives in Michigan, and they would always fucking say that to me constantly.
Yeah.
Hey, point out where South Detroit is on a fucking map.
And
it's right next to West Boston.
They're the only ones that hated the song.
No, they like the song. They just say it is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But again, it is what it is. The song is amazing the way it's performed. The thing that I noticed, just because we had to listen to the album a lot more now for this episode, there's a lot of bass that I picked up. Now, you as a bass player,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Bass is very distinctive. Like, I usually can't pick out a good bass in the middle of a song, but here I can hear it, and I never paid attention much to it. So I'd love to hear what you think about that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to save that for Stone and Love.
Go for it.
Yes, and I will again. But this record, to me, as a bass player, was an eye-opening experience because it was right around the time I started playing bass. And I was like, wow, that sound, that's just different than anything. It's so upfront. And it's like, the bass can be this instrument that sings and has a part that you hum. And it has that distinct chorus effect on it, which everybody tried to replicate from that point on after this record. It was just I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to, like I said, I was going to wait till the next song, but the whole record and the bass plays such a big part on this record, and it's just another one of the ingredients as to what makes it such a special thing. I mean, it's underrated, not spoken about much, but it is one of the silent reasons why it's such a special record.
Now, the song itself, I usually lead off with this. The song itself was written by, and all the songs are credited mostly to Stephen Perry, Neal Schon, and Jonathan Cain. Did go, I think, up to number 9. I think it's just recharted a bunch of times afterwards over the years with all the different comebacks of the song. And it went to 8 in 81 mainstream rock. If you think about it, it's probably one of the biggest rock songs of all time. And again, you're like, it didn't even go to number 1. The other thing about the album is I think it's almost a perfect example of a very underrated music band. Every one of these guys sticks out. Every one of them in the band. So never mind Perry's vocals on this track.
We just talked about the bass.
Ross.
Even the piano and the keys.
There.
The piano and the keys. And then just Neal's coming in with that little guitar thing. And then the drums. Like everything is done perfectly. Like whoever, almost like a conductor did this.
You're right, though.
Start slow, then you come in, and then you do this. It's amazing how it all comes together. It's like brilliant. And all these guys fit like the song perfectly. It's all about the song, and they did.
It is a great example of how all the instruments are completely spotlighted and coming together and making a perfect piece of music. Where sometimes you just hear basses in the background just chugging on the 8th notes, playing the root, dun, 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 dun. You hear it, but it's not a part. I'll be fucking damned if that piano part that bass line, those drums, that guitar, and the vocal. And I mean, individually, if you soloed it all, you would know what song it is by any of the instruments.
And in addition to that, you can throw in the lyrics too. So if you throw in the lyrics too, it's like a production. And they grabbed almost everybody they got to play this. It's almost like a Motown song. Okay, let me get this Motown band, which is the fucking greatest band of all time, on like 1,000 hits. And they all know their part. And then they bring in the singers. And then they have somebody else to produce. And then they have somebody else to write the song. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
But that's what good production on an album will do for you, because we've heard great albums. We've covered great albums on Album Review Crew, and we've said the production is muddled. There's no separation of instruments. There's no separation of it. Like PJ said, you can hear every bit of every instrument in every song.
And there's a purpose to it. It's all there. It all makes sense. And it works in the end. And I do love the part, Tom. You're so right. The chorus at the end comes in at the end. The title comes in at the end slowly, only for the last 20 seconds.
And now, because we've heard the song. Sorry, PJ. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just going to say, I was going to go back to, how I said, open with a show closer, generally to be like, well, watch this. And also, there's another phrase in songwriting: "Don't bore us, get to the chorus." Journey said, "Watch this."
Yep.
Yeah, watch this, guys.
Yeah. But I think the thing I love about this song too, after hearing it for 40 years, and you wait for the chorus now. Like everybody kind of like whether it's at a bar band or when you see Journey live, like everybody is waiting for that chorus. And I think that's kind of the magic of it. You hear it once and it's at the end of the song. And I just think
and that's a testament to that song, because nobody these days is waiting for any chorus. If it doesn't come in the first minute, 30 seconds, they're on to the next one. So congratulations, Journey. You're a unicorn.
Good point. Yep.
Well, let's go to track number 2.
Stone in Love. So we kind of touched on this a little bit. One of the biggest crimes against humanity is that this is not on Journey's greatest hits. It's on volume 2. This was always one of the, there's another song that we'll get to. This was always one of 2 songs on this album that I always went to with Escape. That riff. I mean, we've talked about Steve Perry. We've talked about Jonathan Cain. We've talked about Ross Valory. We've talked about Steve Perry. But this is where Neal Schon can really kind of shine. That opening riff is just off the rails. An incredible chorus. This is probably my favorite, like, summer song. The picture that Steve Perry paints with these lyrics. Golden girl, I'll keep you forever. It's just, it makes you feel like young again. And the chorus is just incredible. The melodic, the layered vocals. And then you got that outro solo that just Neal Schon just killing it. And again, the bass line, the bass, and that's why I was so glad to have PJ on this episode so we could talk to a bass player about the bass.
This song, when I was kind of just reviewing it, the record is going, all right, my bullet points. I had 2 words: lead bass. And at the end of this fucking song, yes, Neal's going off, but fuck that. Listen to Ross Valory on that. That's lead bass. That is some shit. That is the tone that you're hearing. That's bass guitar doing just as much, if not more, than Neal's doing back there. And he's killing it. But you got both of them going off simultaneously.
Yes. After
an amazing song. And they're just putting cherries all over the top of it. And it's like, he just gave us this song, this fucking power pop rock song, arena rock song. And then you're like, now I sit back and enjoy this. It's like, again, we're only song 2, and we're just getting so much information, new craft work, like new ways to write songs, and just bringing elements into it is just groundbreaking. Another swing of the hammer into the groundbreaking of songwriting at this era.
Stone in Love, written by Steve Perry, Neal Schon, Jonathan Cain. Yeah, I mean, I knew this song even before. It wasn't like a single, but I knew it as like a hit. I think they released it as a single somewhere, but it didn't go anywhere. I think they released it only in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. But it did get to mainstream rock number 14. it's just a fucking fun, great riff, fun rock song. He throws I remember our buddy Jimmy got me into this, Tom, and he always used to fucking say the line about old dusty roads.
Dusty roads.
And they do the dusty road, the American dream. This song is just fucking great. It's a kick-ass rock song. I wish they had more of these, but I always felt like Journey took the road that Chicago, Styx, and the rest of them took. Like, oh shit, the girls love our ballads. Oh, we're getting big hits with the ballads. Let's just put everything to soft pop rock ballad type songs. And Chicago and them and Styx and all these guys started doing this shit.
Chicago turned into a bitch band. Journey never turned into a bitch band.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but they certainly weren't rocking after this. But
Frontiers is heavier than Escape.
I don't know. I just knew them from the Who's Crying Now and Open Arms and all this stuff that started coming down the line. But this is more of a rocking song.
Yeah.
And the other thing we didn't mention is, would you consider this the classic lineup of Journey, right?
Yeah, oh, you'd
These
have
five.
For me, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd have to.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So you would say this, not with Gregg Rolie or after or anything like that. Yeah, and that's what I think of Journey. I think of these five. So
yeah.
All right. Let's go to the next song, Tom.
Who's Crying Now? This was always the song. This was always my go-to song when this album first came out. Which is funny because it's not Open Arms. It's not Stone in Love. It kind of tiptoes the line between both of those. It's very, very ballady, but there's a little bit of rock to it. The opening piano, and then it's got those string effects with the keys. And then it's cool because you don't hear the drums until you hear the chorus. And the chorus is just so melodic and so harmonized and layered. There's a little bit of acoustic you can hear in the background. Neal Schon is kind of in the back until the very end when he kind of brings in his outro solo. And it's interesting because the first solo that he presented to the band was a lot more hard rocking. And they were like, no, that's not that kind of song. Let's pull back on it. So we presented them with this. I just think it's a really brilliant song. I think this really, like I said, I kind of think it straddles the line on what Journey can do. And it's funny, listen to this song. Like, I feel like it's this close to being, if it wasn't for Neal Schon's electric guitar solo near the end, I feel like this could almost be considered like a yacht rock type of song. You know, it's very smooth. It's mellow. The chorus is very mellow. It's not an aggressive song, but to me, it's always been one of their standout tracks. And I like how it's a ballad, but there's still a little bit of rock elements to it, PJ.
Yeah. This is, again, as I was mentioning my notes, quick little blurbs. This one, guitar solo. This guitar solo shows up on everyone's record.
Yeah.
Everyone's record. Yeah, that I mean, that line, that guitar solo, it was just, it was, it's a groundbreaking because it's singable.
Yes, singable.
Influential.
When you want an epic outro guitar solo or something, you go, give me that Neal Schon thing, like it's a reference point. It's beyond just the guitar solos. Give me, think Neal Schon. Oh, you want those really whiny notes and those, bringing it home. The guitar solos just completely stand out. The bass on this song is absolutely second to none. I mean, listen to it. I mean, it's very similar to Don't Stop Believin'. It's all over the verse. It's very, stands out. But this was also, again, for me, kind of what I consider the gateway drug to the mid-tempo ballad for all bands to follow. Some of them were a little bit tougher maybe, but this was like really the first mid-tempo, like you said, not Open Arms. Open Arms is a ballad,
Yeah.
And we'll get there. But this was so this could be soft and like melodic and not heavy, and then still have a killer guitar solo. It's like, that's a mid-tempo ballad. This was my first introduction to what a perfect mid-tempo ballad was. And then anytime moving forward, I just reference that.
All right. this one was written only by Steve Perry and Jonathan Cain. No Neal Schon on this. It's the first single. It went to number 4, which is great. But I'm with you. The thing that really stood out for me, besides I didn't know anything about the bassist being like anything other than the goof with the fucking skinny pencil type bass in separate ways. You know, what are those called? Those kind of skinny ones?
The Steinberger, the headless.
Yeah. Just fucking, then he's fucking air bassing while Jonathan Cain is fucking keyboarding. It's stupid fucking video. Anyway. We forgot to talk about the videos, but we can go circle back to those.
They're all live performance videos.
Yeah. Not what you would call a handsome band, Tom.
No.
Not that.
They have a face for podcasting.
They all those fucking like singers were all fucking the same. Him, Kevin Cronin, fucking they were not what you would call handsome singers.
No.
Yeah, a lot of great bands did oh shit when MTV came out.
Absolutely. Great point, PJ.
Hide them. But what stood out for me mostly on this track is Neal Schon's melodic guitar. I fucking love it. All his solos are just like you said. You can hum them. You can sing them. He holds the notes. They're fun fucking solos. And it seems like if he wanted to, he could shred with the best of them. I just remember the thing about him was I remembered when they did that metal fucking We Are the World.
What? Hearing Aid?
Yeah. And I remembered a bunch of people were like, oh, who's the best guitarist? Who's doing the best solo? And like a bunch of them were like, oh, that's Neal Schon. Yeah. Like the Journey guy. And they were all, and that's when I was like, holy shit, maybe there's more to him, but he just plays to the song. Something a Vinnie Vincent and Yngwie will never fucking learn.
Right.
It is perfect. They're so melodic. They're so fun to listen to his guitar. It's beautifully done. I know he's a weirdo now, but the guitar on this is just amazing. It's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, put it this way. You just said he didn't have a writing credit on the song, and I'll say it again. Neil's like, all right, well, watch this. I'm still going to be the one you're talking about on this song.
Exactly. Right.
Good point. Yeah.
You know, overall, the song's okay. How can you not like it? It's kind of sappy, much sappier than I think Open Arms is. Who's crying now? You are, you fucking little bitch. Just too, it's too fucking like this. I like the song, but this is why I'm like, oh, the fucking Patreons pick fucking Journey Escape. This is what I pictured the whole album to be like. And I was surprised. Right? Like, oh, a bunch of pussy music that our fucking guy Heavy Mail, one of our listeners, likes.
I find it ironic that this is pussy music, but some other albums that we've done on ARC are not.
What's pussy music?
Oh, no. We'll go to the next track.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah, let's not open Pandora's boxes yet.
We'll go to the next track.
We haven't reviewed Trixter or fucking Fozzy. What are you talking about?
See, what did I just say?
There you go.
All
sorry.
Right, sorry. Let's go to the next track. I opened my mouth.
All right. Well, speaking of pussy music, this is not pussy music.
I told you I thought it was going to be. I was surprised.
Keep on running. This song rips. This is like punk Journey. Like fast, kick-ass, upbeat Journey. Steve Perry is all over the place. Neal Schon is all over the place, ripping solos. But just like they do with everything, they pull you back, just like the term hook. They hook you back in with another catchy, melodic, sing-along, harmonized chorus. Keep on running. I mean, the verses are a little bit, I like it too, because there's kind of a weird little time signature with the verses. It's kind of like a little bit of a skip beat that they do. It's a deep track for a reason. I mean, it's not super melodic. It's super fast. And I don't know if it's Steve Perry's strength, but he can pull it out. The guy can sing anything he wants. And this kind of showcases kind of, I think, the rock elements of Journey.
Yeah, this song is, and I'm going to make a reference here. And I was saying what an influence this record was on everybody that came after us.
Yep.
After them, and not just new bands, but big bands that existed already. And listen to Keep On Running and tell me that it could not be on 5150.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that.
Picture Sammy singing this song. Picture Ed and Mike doing the backgrounds. Tell me this isn't a Van Halen song circa Hagar. This is hard rock. This is even Van Halen going, you know what, let's do something like Keep on Running. I mean, it is summer of 82, 83, you know, I mean, it is right up there with it. The time signature, the change, then you get the big chorus. You picture Sammy singing this song. And I'll be damned if that wasn't, you know, if that didn't influence.
Great point.
Even the best of the best.
Yep.
All right, so Keep on Running is written by the three again, the big three: Steve Perry, Neal Schon, Jonathan Cain. Okay, so I figured out. I guess they're not going to just be all pussy songs. Keep on Running. I thought it was "You Got Me Running" from Def Leppard, but that I think this came out before Def Leppard's High and Dry.
They both came out in '81, so not too much time.
Regardless, I'm sure neither one was copying anybody at the time.
No,
but the point being is it's got a good running chorus which works, and you can't say anything because his fucking voice is off the charts. Like Steve Perry it's hard to not like anything he's doing. It's just so done well. And then in addition to that, every like guitar lick that Neal Schon's doing is fantastic. The band behind him is okay. You know, nothing special on this track. It's a good track. I never heard of it before I started listening to this album. Now I like it. It's not bad.
Cool.
So,
okay.
All right. So last song on side one, Tom, here we go.
Still They Ride. Okay. We haven't done a lot of albums on ARC that have songs like this. And I'm actually glad that we finally have a couple songs like this to talk about, because I'm going to tell you right now, I am not afraid to admit this. I am a sucker. I have a weak spot for very, very emotionally like soaring vocals in a power ballad. But this song right here is just, I hate to, at the risk of sounding corny, this is just a beautiful, beautiful song. It starts off like almost like melancholy, kind of sad, like you listen to the story that he's telling. But when that band kicks in and he sings that chorus, I get chills now, like just talking about it. The piano melody that you got on that. And then again, we're going to keep saying it, broken record. Neal Schon comes in again with another solo, another melodic, emotive solo. I think this song is spectacular. I think this showcases everything I love about Steve Perry.
I mean, yeah, he can do no wrong. There's no question about that. But this is when you see a different side of him.
Yeah.
And you're right. It tells the story. It's a different vibe from anything you heard so far. It's different than Who's Crying Now. It's kind of like that. You just picture, lonely guy at the bar sitting, crying in his drink. But again, this is, I'll refer back to the influences. This could be on Bon Jovi, New Jersey.
Yep.
This is John going, I got to fucking write a Journey song. This is just one of those songs. It kind of gets you. It comes out of nowhere. You weren't expecting this. By the time you get to track 5, you weren't expecting something along these lines. And it's a breath of fresh air because it does showcases Steve. The song's great. The band's great. I mean, there's nothing not great about this record, but I mean, I think it fits perfectly, especially for where it is in the record, in the sequence.
Yeah. Zeus.
All right. So we're at Still They Ride. Again, the big three wrote this song. It made it to number 19 on Billboard chart. I'm not in love with it like you guys are. I can see the talent behind it. And then once you said I could see this on New Jersey, I'm like, no, they wouldn't put it on New Jersey. They already put it on Slippery When Wet when they put Never Say Goodbye. When it's like the bottle's my only friend,
yeah.
Right? And I actually had in my notes, just as you were kind of talking about it, lights are out, last call, folks. A guy on the piano, somebody playing some song and everyone's cleared out and just like pouring his heart out at a bar or something. Yeah, I can see. Again, it works because the lyrics. It works because it's Steve Perry. The guitar is just so melodic again, but it's still got that. I forget what song that was, Tom. We used to make fun of on. I think it was the debut Winger album. We had a review once.
I can't believe you're invoking Winger while talking about Journey.
Yeah. It has that. Still they ride.
But it's Steve Perry, not Kip Winger.
Yeah, why? Kip Winger has a good voice, but I'm just saying.
I know, I get you.
Got something still they ride. It just. Are you referring to the song when Kip Winger goes rough boy? I couldn't think of it. I'm like, there's something that Tom does that I figured you would do it on this. It's like still they ride. I don't know.
You know what?
But it's just funny.
Your review of Still They Ride can only come from someone who bought Escape yesterday.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome.
I've listened to the song enough times to be able to figure out whether I like something or not.
Well, hold on. I do want to say one thing before we get to the next song, and I just kind of want to piggyback what PJ's been saying. He's kind of made a couple references here. I don't think I ever really thought of this, and I think our buddy Martin Popoff, fellow Pantheon podcaster, I think he may have done an episode where he kind of talked about like the roots of like hair metal, quote unquote. And he talked, because PJ, you're talking about like these Journey songs, like it could have been a Bon Jovi song, it could have been a Van Halen song. Like it's almost like this is like the template for what we refer to as hair metal, which became like pop metal. But those bands just kind of turned up the volume and turned up the distortion a little bit more than Journey.
And they had better looking singers.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's exactly what I said when we started this. I said this record is the template, it's the gateway drug to the next movement that was coming.
Yeah.
They ripped apart these elements of all. They just took everything.
Yep.
They fed off of everything in this record and made their own.
But I want to say,
go ahead.
It worked for certain bands.
Yes.
So because Journey put a lot of time, because they had the talent and the songwriting to make these songs.
Exactly.
So a band like Bon Jovi pulled it off. A band like Def Leppard pulled it off. They could write these songs. They could be a little harder than them, still, but with pretty boy looks.
Yep.
And really go, those girls that were fucking throwing their panties down for fucking, Who's Crying Now and stuff. Let's do it for Never Say Goodbye. Let's do it for
Home Sweet Home.
Home Sweet Home. Shit like that. And
it's basically the better looking guys just took all the influences and said, hey, we're going to do it now.
But they made good. But those are the guys the bands that did it because their songs. They could do the songs. Yeah. And there's a big difference between them and fucking Cold Sweat fucking trying to do Journey. Okay?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, there's a certain talent level that Bon Jovi and Def Leppard had, and producers. Too.
Yes. Yeah, if everyone could be Journey, everybody would be Journey.
Yeah, it's like, just copy that. Yeah, right. I'll do it like that. You're right. Absolutely. Right. Yep. All right, so let's flip the album over, Tom, and you start us off, buddy.
So we're at the title track, Escape. Again, the band kind of showing that they can kind of kick ass, that they can rock. I mean, this is a fantastic song, and I like this because it's not the standard verse, chorus, verse. There's a great opening riff. There's some cool piano, but then you kind of get to that middle part where it kind of shifts gears, where it's like, I got dreams. Then it's like, I'm on my way. Yes, I'm on my way. And it kind of shifts gears. Like, I think this is a fantastic song. And I haven't mentioned this. I was going to wait to this song to mention it, but I'm a Journey fan. So one of the great live albums is Journey 1981 live in Houston. It's the Escape tour. They actually opened with this song. And you talk about a guy who sure as hell ain't using backing tracks. Like Steve Perry in 1981 sounded the way he sounded on the record. But I think this is a great song. I think it's a nice change of pace. Side one ended with Still They Ride, very somber, kind of soulful. And then they just come here and they just rip open side two with Escape. I think it's a killer song.
I'm gonna shed some light on, in sticking with my influence theme here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show you who this song influenced and where Journey pulled influence from. So I'm sure I'm not the only one to point this out. Maybe in this platform, yes, but Escape. So the riff is Michael Jackson's Black or White.
Holy
Holy
shit. Okay.
I mean, so
Hold
right there.
that thought, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, you go from Van Halen, Bon Jovi to fucking Michael Jackson. If you can't say an influential record, then I don't know what. But also, when you get to that part you're talking about at the end, all of a sudden, Phil Collins and Genesis just walked in. It's like it's now Journey. Journey is showing their influence. They're showing their Genesis influence.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's almost like they kind of tapped into the previous era of Journey, kind of that proggy era of Journey, like you said, with like that Genesis style. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
So it's a great and it still has that first riff. I mean, it's very rock and roll, very kind of what's coming in the future. That heavy, almost like Y&T kind of fucking metal, and then you go into this Black or White
great point.
Riff. Yeah.
Zeus.
All right, so Escape, written by the Big Three again. So I didn't know what to make of the song. It had fucking like 4 different like melodies, versions. It's all over the fucking place. I could like of all the tracks, I mostly went to the middle 6 because those are ones I wasn't familiar with. The other ones I knew them like the back of my hand. So I would keep going to them. And I could tell what I'm going to end up liking because I kept hoping that this would come up next. I can't explain it. I can't hold the riff in my head. I can't hold the music really in my head because it's all over. It's like, but it's fascinating to me. It's interesting. It's a lot of different things going on in it. But I didn't get Michael Jackson's Black and White. You know what I got? I got like with that piano and like the thing rising and like, ooh, something's coming, mystical, whatever. I thought it was like the Jackson 5. Can you feel it? Like something like that. Something like something's popping up and like bigger or larger. And then the piano comes in the middle. It almost sounds like rock till you drop. And then it goes off on a different thing. But I think of the breakdown in rock
part.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I think of the rock till you drop, that breakdown bridge that they have in that. But regardless, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating song. I'm interested in it. I can't believe out of all listening to radio growing up, all that stuff, MTV and stuff, I didn't really know this song.
No,
never heard it.
No one did. It was never played.
Again, now mind you, by the time we're in the like mid 80s, I'm listening to I'm watching MTV, but I'm watching like most requested videos, which are all hard rock and metal. And I'm watching Headbangers Ball. Journey's not fucking popping up on there.
Right.
So I'm not hearing this shit.
Right.
And we're hearing, ZLX, BCN, and AAF in Boston. They're not playing really this stuff.
Yep.
So, but anyway, it's a fascinating song. I like it. I think it's great. Got a lot of different elements to it. So let's go to the next song by Rat.
Yeah, so more kick-ass deep track rock from Journey here. Lay It Down. I mean, what an unbelievable opening riff. And then I love this. This is kind of like, you haven't really heard this so far on the album. There's a little bit of swagger, kind of a little bit of balls to this song that you didn't have before. Steve Perry, I ain't looking for trouble. I ain't looking to fight. Like, I just want to party and get down, whiskey and women and whatever. But once again, they bring you back around to an incredibly hooky and melodic chorus. Those layered harmonized vocals. Incredible guitar work here. And Neal Schon is just going nuts. A lot of noodling here, a lot of little licks here, different things. I think he's been great throughout the entire album so far that we've talked about. But this song here, I mean, it's kind of funny how the songs that they really, really pushed, and then a song like this that you just never heard unless you bought Escape. I think this is a great track. It just shows that Journey can just do more than one or two things.
I think this track in particular is the ultimate influence on the 80s metal. Like if you put a horrible falsetto vocal on this, it's every 80s metal band that came out following. I mean, this could be, but I mean, on the flip side, this also sounds like a very good Warrant song. You know, it could be a Tesla song. I mean, this could be, you know, but it could also go south. If you put like a bad vocal on it, it's just a bad 80s metal song. But because you got Steve Perry on it, it's a fucking great song.
Yeah.
But it is, again, a glimpse of what's coming, you know, and it's probably the most blatant as to how it influenced the 80s metal and pop rock that's come. It's very, very of that time.
Yeah.
And very different for the rest of the record.
Yep.
All right. Lay It Down, written by the Big Three. Yeah. The only thing that I wrote down is, holy shit. Fucking guy's vocals are just, I can't explain it. Like, do you know, I can only imagine how fucking difficult is somebody else to be like, hey, come in, Steve's not feeling this right now. Why don't you try to sing this song just like he just did?
Nope.
Good fucking luck.
Yep.
It's just that, like, and not cracking his voice and seeming so smooth and stuff. It's almost a little Robert Plant-ish, but just like those notes are
controlled.
Oh my, absolutely, and melodic.
Yep.
I'm just like, dude, he's showing off. There's no fucking way. He's showing. There's no need to do this in the song, but he's just showing you, hey, look what we got fucking singing. No, sing it like this and just fucking blow everybody's brains away. That's fucking insane.
This also came out. When did Queen's The Game come out? What year did that come out?
I think that came out was that 80 or 81? Was that around the same time, I think?
Because I'm thinking that, I mean, you know, these guys are also, look, you know, it's a competitive world out there. Steve Perry's like, I got to compete
1980
with Freddie Mercury. I got to bring it.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to bring it. I got to listen to what Freddie Mercury's over there doing. I got to bring you this shit, you know? So he's leaving it all out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fucking insane him hitting those notes. All right. Next track.
Another deep track here, Dead or Alive. Once again, the band's showing some kind of weird stuff that they can do. Kind of like, again, a little punk, pop, prog. Like, the band is just blowing it up on this song here. Kind of another weird kind of time signatures. You get some kind of like boogie-woogie barroom piano in the background there. This is not a strength for me for what Steve Perry can do, that kind of quick, almost scat type singing. The guitars are ripping it as always. Neal Schon is amazing. Another absolutely burning up solo here. But to me, this it's not a terrible song. It's just not every song can be a banger. And I think this is one that it just doesn't really fit the rest of the album. It just doesn't really fit what I want to hear from Journey on this album.
And going back to, like I said, I made my quick little notes on every song.
Yep.
This one I had 9-song record.
No.
There you go. Fair. That's
this
fair.
one could have easily been left off. I mean, before the vocal even fucking comes in, I go, these guys don't know where they're going with this one. This is just all over the place. This is a bad song. It's a fucking shitty riff. It's not well thought out. It's completely overthought. It's contrived. It's fucking horse shit. And it's the one piece of corn here. But it's 9-song record. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Skip.
Yep. Fair. I agree.
All right. Dead or Alive, written by the Big Three. So for me,
and it coming out sounding like the Big Two.
Yeah. I feel like it's them trying to be metal. Like someone said, let's try to be even harder than we really are.
Yeah.
And they left their wheelhouse and lost their melodic side by trying to do this. I'm like, when they get into the I'm like, is this a fucking poor man's Under the Gun? What the fuck are they trying to do here?
Yep.
I dreams, love to make you drool. I'm like,
Under the Gun.
What?
Yeah,
it's not good.
And also, that's why you don't like it, because I said it's Under the Gun, and you don't like Fast Kiss.
And also to your point, Tom, Steve Perry, there's like no room for him in this song. And shit, are you kidding? Don't write a song where there's no room for Steve Perry.
That's exactly what I was thinking, PJ. I don't want to hear him going, no, I don't want to hear that.
Sing to me, motherfucker. Sing to me.
Yes.
Yeah, and this
don't rush him.
He adds a weird accent. I don't know what the fuck he's doing after every kind of line. The solo, even, it's like fucking that guitar solo looks like it could have came off of fucking Animalized. It could have been Mark St. John or fucking Vinnie Vincent. It's just all over. I'm like,
it sounds like a Vinnie Vincent. Sounds like a Vinnie Vincent sound check.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard that. It's better than that. It's better than that, believe us. All right. Song number 9.
So they make up for the mess of Dead or Alive. They get back to what they do best. Mother, Father. I mean, I'm sorry. If you weren't sure if Steve Perry could sing yet, holy fucking song right here. First of all, I love how it starts off, again, a little piano. Very sad, very painful, very just really like lamenting kind of mentality here with the vocals here and the lyrics but then when it flips, don't you know that I'm alive? Like that soaring vocal that Steve Perry knows how to do. And then the whole band comes together, and it's another song like Still They Ride. For me, I just get chills. That second verse when the whole band is together, and then it kind of that solo that Neal does. It's a real like emotional, like almost like, lack of a better word, almost like a passionate solo. And Steve Perry is again doing his like whoa, like all over the place, feeling it. I just think this is a really, really great song. To me, this showcases a lot of what Journey can do well on this one.
Yeah, I mean, this song is to me, this could have been like the 5th song, the centerpiece of the record. Yep. You know, it's an epic, it's dramatic, grabs you right by the chest. Very, it's emotional. It's commanding. And again, to influences, tell me it couldn't have been on Blizzard of Oz or something. I mean, this is like I hear Ozzy singing this song, I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
It's, very different of everything else that's on the record. But yeah, I mean, talk about coming to a close here. It's a strong second to last here.
Yeah.
All right. This one is Mother, Father, the Big Three, and then Matt Schon. Who the hell is that? Besides a relative, probably, of Neal.
It's like his cousin Eddie, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, he got a credit.
It was the pizza guy that came in and said 2 words. Had to get a writing credit.
Maybe it was that's his dad's name, and so he named it after him. I don't know, but that's who gets writing credit on it. Another showcase of the talent of this band. Not a fan. Just
wow. Same
as Still They Ride.
Oof. Wow.
No.
Okay.
No, it didn't work for me at all. Thought it was Save Your Love by Great White with the beginning. Din, 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 din. But there's your influence if you want. That opening guitar kind of going in the beginning.
There you go.
With the great vocalists, where the vocals are really the only part of the song you're picking up on, and just a slow little guitar melody in the background. So it's just another incredible melodic solo as well. Again, the talent is there. The song isn't something I want to listen to. It's just not.
Wow. Okay.
Let's go to the last track.
Open Arms. Okay. To me, we've talked a lot about influences. Well, particularly PJ kind of led the way with influences. To me, whether you like this, love this, hate this, or whatever, to me, this is the king of all ballads. I think every other ballad ever written, power ballad, I think every one of them is looking up at Open Arms and saying, thank you for letting me exist right now. I don't think anything can hold a candle to this. There's a lot of them out there. I mean, I love Forever by Kiss. I love tons of great power ballads out there. This is a magnificent song. It's the ultimate ballad. Steve Perry, this is the showcase of all showcases for him vocally. It's fantastic. And one of my favorite stories about this song is that Jonathan Cain wrote it while he was in the Babies. John Waite turned it down. Neal Schon hated it. The drummer, Steve Smith, said that Neal Schon said it sounded like something that Mary Poppins would sing. The whole band hated it until they played it live. And the response they got from the crowd was mind-blowing to the point where Neal Schon goes, holy shit, that song is amazing. And Steve Perry was like, go fuck yourself. I knew it was amazing. You've hated it this entire time. And now it's one of our signature songs that we play live. I think it's spectacular. I love it.
Absolutely. I mean, this song, like I said about the entire record, this is just a prime example of, look, we talked about how influential the record was. Yep. This is, like you said, this was the gateway drug to all power ballads. This song gave permission to rock and rollers to write heartfelt, slow love songs. It made it okay, gave the stamp of approval. It's like, look, we did it. It's okay. You can write a love song.
I like that mindset. That's a good way to put it.
And that was it. This is the song. There fucking would be no other at the capacity that there was. It wouldn't be like every fourth song was a fucking ballad because of Open Arms and what it did. Now, that being said, ironically, as amazing the song is, I see Neal Schon's and everyone's hesitation at first. With first hearing it, John Waite's hesitation, because honestly, those guys are so close to it and so close to Steve Perry that they're almost jaded. They have like, you know, when your baby cries, you know, so much you don't even hear it anymore. But the person sitting next to you is like, "You gonna fucking shut your kid up or what?" I'm starting to hear it. So it's like, oh, Steve Perry comes in with a song. He goes, "Yeah, it's good, but you know." Had someone else been singing this song, I'd be like, it's a little foofy.
Yeah.
Steve Perry's singing it, so it passes with, silver dollars.
I think that's a great point, PJ. If you had somebody else, because like I can't remember what song, there was a song that so far that we've talked about. If somebody else was doing this song, if somebody else was singing this song, because you're right, it is a very floofy, lovey-dovey, corny, cheesy ballad.
Right.
But the band and Steve Perry's vocal stylings save it from that, I think.
And that's it. And that's why they both had a solid argument. Steve Perry was like, no, I got a song here. And everyone else is going, look, I know you're Steve Perry, but you're my singer. I hear you every day. I'm not hearing it like the rest of the world. And I just hear kind of a pussy ballad right now and not into it. You know, so they both had I think they both had valid arguments.
Yeah.
And people go, I can't believe Neal Schon didn't like this song. I kind of see it because he doesn't hear what we hear.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah.
And like I said, if anyone else was singing this song, it wouldn't have been what it was.
Yeah.
It's still a great song, but Steve Perry sold that motherfucker like he was, again, watch this. You don't like the song? Watch this. Watch.
Yeah.
And he did it. The song rides on him.
Yeah. Okay, Zeus, kill it.
How am I going to kill it?
I don't know, because I don't know. I'm interested to see what you think here.
So it was only written by Steve Perry and Jonathan Cain. So Neal Schon does not get writing credits on this. It went to number 2 for 6 weeks, and the Boston band Jay Giles and Centerfold kept it off, Tom.
Yeah.
Remember Jay Giles? That
great
video
song
for Centerfold? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett kept it off.
Yep.
Yeah, what am I going to say? I sound like a fucking, like a troll if I'm like, yeah, the song sucks. Come on. You can't deny this. I mean, you're just being a pessimist, just like a curmudgeon just to be one. The song is brilliant. It's beautiful. It's this and this and that. But I'm absolutely 100% fucking sick of it. So I don't want to hear it. I played it a couple times because I knew it, and you can see the brilliance in it. You can see it's fucking Steve Perry. Would it have worked if David Lee Roth sang this? No. Because it's Steve.
I would have liked to heard that.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. Yippity, yappity, yappity, doo. Whatever the
Bibbidi bop, open arms.
I am beside you. Yeah.
One open arm coming up.
Bibbidi bip bop.
Billy bop. Anyways, that's
So to my point,
hour.
only Steve Perry could have
Yeah.
gotten
Again,
this past the radar.
it's tough, right? Because it's like when we do Blizzard of Oz, it's like, okay, time to review Crazy Train, Back in Black. Okay, time to review Shook Me All Night Long. Like you're like, oh, I've heard it, but you also got to think back. What was it like when you first heard it, and how good was it? Yeah, it's fucking a brilliant song. I can't complain. I've just heard it way too many times. I mean, it's a great song. It's a great way to end the thing. And fucking Neal Schon should have a permanent fucking middle finger from the other two guys going like this to him, because I'm sure that song specifically too, more so than Don't Stop Believin' becoming legendary.
Yes.
That song brought this album to where it, maybe where it was like 5 million sold, and then Sopranos and Glee and the rest brought it to 10 million because this song was all over the place.
Dude, it's like the ultimate
everybody's
wedding song, the ultimate wedding song, the ultimate prom song, whatever, Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm assuming it's like every karaoke fucking loser's wet dream to watch me pull this off. Yeah, good luck, buddy.
No, I think that's Don't Stop Believin'. Shit face at some bowling alley karaoke at 2 a.m. doing Don't Stop Believin'.
Yeah, but that's like you trying to be like fucking having fun. This is like, hey, I'm an artist. Hold on,
I'm a serious performer.
I'm a serious artist. Well, let me sing Open Arms. Okay, good luck, brother. Anyway, that's the album. What we normally do is at this point we just give a quick little final thoughts on the album. Tom, lead us off.
Yeah, look, I love it. I mean, I listen to Journey like regularly. It's one of my favorite bands, but I've never, whenever we do ARC, you spend a lot of time listening to that whole album, start to finish, no skips. Listen to the whole songs over and over and over again. It's just a great album, and I really love PJ's take on the influence of this. We're all music geeks here. When you see the seeds that Journey planted for what the rest of the 80s was going to be, it's all here. And I think it's a great, I think it's a timeless album. And I said earlier at the beginning of the episode, guys love it. Women love it. It's a very youthful album. A lot of the songs are like very youthful, Don't Stop Believin' and Stone in Love. And, Open Arms is a very emotional song. I just think it's universal. And there's a reason why I would be hard pressed to find somebody who's like, oh, Escape. Oh, that album's terrible. I can't listen to that. I don't think if there's somebody out there, like you said, Zeus, they're just being trolls for the sake of being argumentative.
Curmudgeons.
Yeah. PJ.
Just easily one of the most important records of my life.
Yeah.
As a musician, songwriter, just music lover. And one of the most important records to a generation and a movement of music, like I said when we started this thing. Without this record, who knows if that whole big rock arena thing would have come at that time. I think this catapulted it. So this forever lives in my memory as one of my most important records. It's something that turned a light on in my head as a musician. And as a music lover, like introduced me. I felt like I was introduced to something new, a different version of hard rock.
Yeah.
So super important.
All right. So for me, I never owned this. I owned it. It's not something I will like just throw aside and be like, okay, I'm gonna listen. I probably will listen to it again. I will have it on my rotation in my shuffle because I don't listen to anything specific any day. I usually leave all these ARCs in a shuffle. And when this comes on, I don't have anything that I would skip. There's nothing on here that I've thought to myself, like, this is fucking terrible. I don't want to fucking listen to this shit. There are some songs that obviously are better than others and some classics on this. I'm glad somebody picked it, not me, because I wouldn't have picked Journey. I'm not sure if this is going to get any better. Like if I looked into their catalog, that I'm going to find anything better than this. So I'm happy I learned this. I appreciate the input you guys added and the perspective that you guys gave me about this album. And let's go to what we normally do, and that is rank these tracks. 10 tracks. Tom, PJ, and then me. I'll go, top and start with number 10.
Well, I think we could. I'm going to guess we all agree on this. I know PJ will. 10th and last ranked song is Dead or Alive.
Yeah, it's a dead for me.
Okay. That's yours? Oh, yeah. Mine's Mother, Father.
Oh, God damn it. You motherfucker, Mother, Father.
You mother, father.
Number 9 for me is Keep on Running. This was tough for me because the first two are automatic for me. The bottom 2 are automatic for me, and then the middle 6 I could shuffle them around on any given day. But anyways, PJ, what do you got for 9?
9 for me would be Lay It Down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Number 9 for me is Still They Ride.
Ah!
Don't shoot me.
Oh, you are hurting my feelings right now.
That's all.
Number 8, Mother, Father.
Yep. Mother 8, Mother, Father. So wait, we're already at 8, and Zeus hasn't even mentioned Dead or Alive yet. So that's
I know I'm a lot.
There you go.
Your 8?
I just did.
Your 8? Okay, that's your 8.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Okay, good. 7 for me, Lay It Down.
All right. 7 for me. It's getting tough, man.
It is getting tough.
Getting tough. I'm going to say Escape.
Escape. Okay.
All right. So 7 for me is Lay It Down.
Okay. And now it gets tough for me because these are all coin flips. Number 6 for me is Escape.
6 for me would be. I'm gonna go Keep on Running.
Okay.
You got me running.
Zeus.
All right.
6.
6. I'm taking the same thing. I'm gonna go with Keep Me Running. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep on Running.
You got me running. Now I fucked myself up. Yeah.
This is so hard because the top 5 is really difficult for me, but something's got to be number 5. I'm going to put Open Arms at number 5.
All right, I'll put Still They Ride at number 5. Just
okay. Zeus 5.
Number 5. Who's Crying Now? Tom is, because he loves that song.
I do. This might be blasphemy to the people listening here, but sorry, it's a great song, but it's not the best song. Number 4, Don't Stop Believin'.
I knew you. Once you said blasphemy, I knew you were going to go Don't Stop.
It's a great song, but it's not my favorite on the album. But that's okay. PJ, what do you got? Number 4.
Open Arms.
Okay.
I'm with PJ. Number 4, Open Arms. It's just played out. Okay. It's a great song, but.
And then my top 3 was easy. Number 3, Still They Ride.
Still They Ride.
Number 3 for me, I'm going to say Don't Stop Believin'.
Okay.
Wow. I can't believe it's going to be that low. Number 3 for me is Escape. Really like that.
That's a great song. Yeah, it's a really good one. Yeah.
It's very different.
Yep. Number 2 for me is Who's Crying Now? PJ.
Stone in Love for me.
Don't Stop Believin', number 2.
Okay, and then Stone in Love is my number 1 easy. PJ, it looks like your number 1 is?
Who's Crying Now?
Okay, I won't fight you on that one. And Zeus?
Stone in Love is the best song.
Excellent. All right.
Well,
solid.
Yeah. That's I almost called it Don't Stop Believin'. That's I almost called it Open Arms. The fuck's
You'll get to it.
Called? Escape. Oh, well. And what we do next is this. All right, PJ, what makes you rock hard?
All right, so I'll start by this. This weekend, 4th of July weekend, we have Friday, July 5th, Diesel Concert Lounge in New Baltimore, Michigan, right outside of Detroit. July 6th, we are at JD Legends, a lovely outdoor venue, awesome venue in Franklin, Ohio, the Cincinnati area. And July 7th, our home away from home, Jurgles in Warrendale, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area. So we did 2 of these venues last year, and they were killer. So I see a pattern forming here for quarantine. These are our markets.
Yeah, awesome. I don't like this pattern because it's nowhere near New England.
Yeah, it's nowhere near us. What the hell?
Or even if you do New York, New Jersey stuff, that's a lot easier trip for us.
Come on, help us out.
There.
Okay.
Get fucking Chris out of his comfort zone, would you?
Warrendale, Pennsylvania is his comfort zone.
You know it.
All right,
Tom, what makes you rock hard?
Yeah, so this is the part of the show we talk about a book, a show, a movie, something that we're kind of into. So I had seen this when this first came out. So I'm a massive horror movie nerd, and there was a documentary that came out about 10 years or so ago, and I watched it, but not very closely. And it's called Room 237, and it's a documentary film about all the conspiracy theories on what these quote unquote experts think that Stanley Kubrick was trying to do when he made The Shining. Now,
oh shit.
If you are a conspiracy theory and love to hear people who are fucking insane, you have to watch this, because there are stories. And the funny thing is, they don't show anybody's face. It's all you're just hearing the audio of them, and they'll show you what they talk. There's one person who is convinced that the entire Shining is Stanley Kubrick's talk about, white man taking the Indians' land. There's another one about how somebody is convinced that it's Stanley Kubrick trying to tell everybody that he filmed the moon landing, that the whole moon landing was fake, and that Stanley Kubrick was the guy who filmed it. It's really interesting. You have to suspend disbelief, because you kind of be like, these people are fucking insane, but it's just I get a kick out of people that are crazy. This one, and I love The Shining. I've seen the movie a million times. So check it out. It's called Room 237. It's streaming for free on somewhere. So it's fun.
Isn't that a Samuel Jackson movie?
That's Room
something like that.
What is that? That's another Stephen King movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like Room 401 or something. Yeah.
Like, get out of that fucking room.
Yeah, John Cusack, Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
That's it.
There's an obvious pair.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I know, huh?
Should have called it twins too.
Oh God,
with twins.
Go ahead, Zeus.
All right. So mine is a Netflix documentary. I fucking love history, as everyone on the show knows. And this one's called Turning Point, the bomb in the Cold War. I don't know if anybody's seen it.
No.
It is all about the Russia-U.S. conflict, all starting from building the bomb, showing the bomb going off, and it's all firsthand accounts by all world leaders from Russia to Estonia to American diplomats, UK, pretty big name. Even the fucking Zelensky's in this, and the hot chick, the hot prime minister from Estonia is in it. There's some good shit in there. But regardless,
you love those Eastern European politicians.
Fucking loving those fucking MILF fucking Estonia prime ministers. Oh, she's fucking hot. Anyways, so the bomb, they have behind the scenes stuff, when the bombs went off in Japan, the impact. Then they show all the testing that was going on and all the fucking lies between oh shit, fucking Russia says they have 1,000 fucking nuclear and they only had 4, literally 4. And all of a sudden the U.S. is ramping up and we're testing them all over the place. Meanwhile, we're not we're testing them in areas this is a good secure area. There's fucking a school of girls that were fucking swimming somewhere in the U.S. in a pond, and they all fucking died within 2 years.
Oh,
shit. I had no idea. And then they build it up between the Cold War and the wall going up in East Germany and all those countries, and every one of them trying to get their independence and what it took and all the military shit, and how many times, besides the fucking Cuban Missile Crisis, which they get into, but how many times we got close to a fucking nuclear war and we had no idea, just by imagine. One was a Russian and one was an American, got signals that a bomb was coming and they were coming and they had to make a decision, and they're like, I'm not pressing it. No, I'm not doing it. They're like, fucking America shot weapons. And the guy's like, I'm not doing it. And they obviously proved to be right. But fascinating shit. And it's really scary. All about nuclear arsenal and how close and dangerous we've come. And it's just, if you like history and you like Russian history and U.S. and stuff, relations, it's fascinating stuff. I think you'll like it. Anyway, we know you are with Quarantine touring in July. What else do you got coming up? I know you're still doing some touring with Steve Brown and Trixter. You obviously have Fozzy stuff. Anything else? Any other projects you want to pump?
Plug away.
Yeah, we got after Quarantine this weekend. Trixter is out July 12th in where are we? Gibbon, Minnesota, and then the 13th in Winona, Wisconsin, and then we're every weekend.
You're everywhere.
So we're out every weekend, and then it's Trixter every weekend until the end of the summer, and then
are you guys doing New Hampshire, like the ballroom and stuff?
I think we have something in the area for September.
I think I saw some. So in Manchester, there's a club called the Angel City Music Hall in Manchester. I think that's where I saw you guys coming there. Or
no, we were supposed to do. That was supposed to be our second night of the last tour we did.
Yes, that's right.
It closed like a week before our tour started. The venue just closed.
The venue closed. I heard about that. They were having. They literally did the Chris Rock grand opening, grand closing. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I never.
Yeah.
So I think we have something in the area coming for September.
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Cool. All right.
And any last insults you want to leave the show for Joey Casada before you leave?
Who?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Let's end on that note.
I know Joey Casada.
That he's the great PJ Farley. Thank you, PJ. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, fellas. Always a pleasure. I was excited about this one.
PJ, thank you so much, man. I loved having you on. It was a great time. Thank you, buddy. Be good.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, Tom, that was the great PJ Farley helping us out on Journey. And the thing is about this album, just so you guys know, we didn't know what PJ thought about this. The fact that he fucking worships this album was random. We just simply went like, who are we going to get next? And we just said, PJ, what do you think of Journey?
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that he offered a lot of really interesting insight on the influence that Journey had on later 80s, like hard rock, hair metal, pop metal was great.
And that he can actually say, guys, as a musician.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. As a great bass player. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So, Tom, I know PJ's gone, but we still have another job to do. And that job is we actually have to rank the actual album compared to everyone else. First, we start with the actual album cover.
Yes. So my top 5 album covers right now are number 5, Rage Against the Machine, number 4, Blizzard of Oz, Purple Rain, Master of Puppets, and number 1, Diary of a Madman. This cover is okay. I think I liked it more than you and PJ. It's interesting. It's colorful. It's of the time. It's a little proggy. It's early 80s. It's nothing great, but I do like it. I think it is kind of iconic for the album. And I know we throw that term around a lot, but I'm going to throw this at number 18.
Whoa.
I'm going to put it. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to put it right below Pearl Jam 10 and right above Van Halen Fair Warning.
Wow. That's actually higher than I would think.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's, I don't get it, but I think it's kind of cool.
All right. So, Tom, my top 5 album covers. Peace of Mind at 5, 4, Diary of a Madman, 3, Appetite for Destruction, 2, Blizzard of Oz. Number 1 is Hotel California. Where am I putting Escape? I'm going to put this. You know what I'm thinking, Tom? I'm like, shit, maybe he's not that far off. I'm going to put this at 22.
Okay.
Above Fair Warning.
Yeah.
And below Moving Pictures.
Okay.
I just think it's more iconic because, it's a diamond album.
Yeah.
So that gives it something. We've seen it everywhere. People's collection, record stores. You've seen this image. So it got to give you something more than anybody else, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if things are about even, you give it the nudge to this because it's iconic. That's how I look at it.
Yep.
So,
agreed.
All right. That is album covers. Let's go to the album itself, Tom.
Okay. Albums. Top 5 for me right now are Fair Warning at number 5, Shout at the Devil, Purple Rain, Moving Pictures, Master of Puppets. I love this album. This is a huge album for me. I love Journey. I listen to this album consistently, or a shuffle, or a Journey playlist, or Journey's greatest hits. I love this album. I'm putting this at number 5, baby.
Oh,
I love this album. This is a huge album for me. I'm knocking down Fair Warning to number 6. Escape makes it into the top 5. I love this album. It's a huge album for me.
Just to break that down a little bit, Tom, I can see why. I think Fair Warning probably has more top heavy.
Very top heavy album.
Escape is probably a lot more consistent for you.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what my top 5 has in common. There's pretty much no skips, just very, very, very consistent albums all across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you would have this slightly below Bullet Boys, but what do I know?
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. Yeah.
Or Winger's debut.
Although we've done 53 albums in the middle of my rankings are just a mess and they need to be reassessed. We talk about this every episode.
Yeah, one of these days we'll do a live cast where me and you just look at this and go, what the fuck? How is this there?
Like, how do I have Pyromania at 18? I have Appetite for Destruction at 21.
Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those things. I say to you right now, Tom, let's go on a trip. You can take Pyromania. You only take one CD with you. And then you look at those other albums and you say, all right, I'm either taking Pyromania or one of those other ones. Which one now, are you looking back, would you say? I say, yeah. I'm going to take this, not Pyromania. All 18?
Right. I know a lot of these albums, you suffer from that recency bias. Like I love Aerosmith Rocks. It's not 5 rankings better than Pyromania.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough. But
tough. When you spend a month listening to these albums, you're like, oh, I love this. Is the greatest album I ever heard.
And then you deal with the rankings and everybody being like, oh, this is a brilliant song. This, that. You're like, yep. Then I got to have it here. Everyone's telling me how brilliant it is.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Well, what do you got?
For me, number 5 is Pyromania, the aforementioned Pyromania.
Yeah, right,
5.
right.
4 is Blizzard of Oz. 3, Hotel California. 2, Automatic for the People. 1 is Purple. I mean, as I look at that, I'm like, I don't even know if I would change some of those. Maybe I would have. It's not even close to the top 5. But this album grew on me. I think it's consistent. Even the songs I'm not a big fan of. Still they ride. Even that isn't like dreadful.
No.
Okay. So I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out where I would put this. I'm going with 27.
Okay. Right in the middle.
I like Vision Quest better. I do. I think Vision Quest is solid. Fucking Journey's on there, and there's no really bad tracks on that either. But I think it's better than Rocks. Rocks is way too top heavy. I don't think really there's any real weakness on this.
No.
It's musically, as much as I joke with the heavy males of the world about pussy music, Neal Schon just fucking kills it. And he's got such a great melodic guitar. And then Steve Perry, he's just a world-class singer. You can't deny it. So to me, it's right in the middle there. It's a great album. And congrats to Patreon for picking it, man.
Yep.
Don't fuck up the next one.
The Patreon picks have been really good. They've been really good for them. I mean, they've been
lately.
Well, yeah, they've been killing it for me personally, but they got you an Aussie album too, so they've been good.
No, I mean, I'm not complaining. I think recently they've been much better. Yep. Before we go on, can we please, because now we have them all listening, give them, I mean, we've said it. Every time Tom is ready to post, here comes the Patreon pick. Should I put out the poll, what they want? And we ask them. We say the same thing. I remind Tom every time. And I do it every time. To pick something that has a chance. Because, listen, if everybody picked fucking Aja Gugu, fucking, Backstreet Boys and fucking Butthole Surfers, and God bless you, somebody picks that every fucking time.
Yep.
They're not getting picked. I don't care if they got 10 fucking votes. They're not getting picked. I'm not fucking doing it.
Well, the problem is it's a 2-tier process. You guys have to consider this. And we want this to be difficult for me and Zeus. Okay, so let's tell everybody out here, even if you're not a patron, how this works. Every single patron submits an album privately to me and Zeus, so no other patrons see the picks. Okay,
yeah, these are paid members of Patreon, no free members.
Correct.
Paid members, you're looking at about over 80-something people get the fucking pick.
So Zeus and I look at all the picks, and then we take the best 4 albums that we like, And then what we do is, if something gets more than one submission, it automatically makes it
automatically goes in. So if two people took, I think two people picked Journey's Escape. So regardless, it went in.
Right. And then the poll then gets kicked back to every patron, and then you have to vote, and that's what gets picked. So you know the kind of music that we like, the kind of music that our listeners like. This particular poll that we had for June,
incredible.
It was incredible. It literally all four albums. It was down to the Journey barely won.
Journey was losing by one the night before, like an hour or so before, and somehow he got 2 votes.
Yep. So you guys know what we like, and all you Patreon people, you have access to the poll. You can see the 4 albums that made the poll. Stick along that lines. If you want to just throw an album out because you want to be heard, God bless you, but you have to know it's not going to get picked.
I'll give you another little hint. If you have to explain to us what the album is or who the artist is,
that's a problem.
It ain't coming in.
No.
Like, what the fuck, guys?
Nope. And again, we want this to be difficult. I want 1 month. I want Zeus, and I'd be like, "Holy shit, dude! How the fuck are we going to narrow this down? These are great albums."
Oh, that was this one.
That was this. This one was. It was that.
And there was like 2 other ones who were like, "We should throw these in. We can't. Oh, let's mix it up." There were 2 other great albums we could have put in. This was like the best chance. And the funny thing is, the first like 30 fucking submissions, Tom and I were like, "This is fucking terrible."
Yeah, I said to Zeus, maybe me and you will just throw albums we like it and just not tell anybody.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyways.
God bless you guys. You picked this album. We enjoyed doing this, so thank you. And if you want to join Patreon now or follow the show, tell them, Tom.
Yeah, you can. Our website's the best place to go, shoutitoutloudcast.com. And if this is your first time hearing us, we are a weekly Kiss podcast, dropping Kiss-related episodes every Saturday. And then every month we do an album review crew album where it rotates between me picking an album, Zeus picking an album, and then our Patrons, as we just explained, we rotate. We pick a guest to come in, and we spend 2 hours just having a good time talking about the albums. You can check us out in everything regarding our show at shoutitoutloudcast.com. Follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and our email address at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And we're proud to be a member of the Pantheon podcast network of shows, and our good friend Martin Popoff, host of History in 5 Songs, and incredible rock author. We were glad to have him for last month's episode, Rainbow Difficult to Cure.
Yeah, Tom, what we usually like to do is leave with famous last words. You got any?
Yes, I do. Spinning round in a spell. It's hard to leave this carousel. Round and round. Round and round. Still the ride.
Oh, man. Old dusty roads led to the river running slow. She pulled me down. Ooh, in clover, we go around. Yeah. That sounds awful.
Just like Steve Perry.
That's my awful Dusty Rhodes impression.
Oh, God.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, PJ Farley, thank you. Patreon members, Loudcasters, Kiss Army, everybody out there, thank you.
PJ Farley, thanks so much, buddy. Great time. Always love talking to you, especially on a great album like this. Patreon, thank you guys for being such huge contributors to the show. Eternally grateful for all your generosity, picking a great album. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.